Hello everyone and welcome to this new video, Photoshop tools, and today we'll be looking at the Lasso tool. When you right click on the Lasso tool, you'll see that you have three options: Lasso tool, Polygonal Lasso tool, and Magnetic Lasso tool. The first one, being the Lasso tool only, is used to go with a very quick and easy selection around your image. For example, if I just would like to get a basic selection here, just to get kind of a garbage selection of my shape, I would definitely go with simple lasso tool. If I wanted to just grab myself a piece of this asphalt here, I'll be able to use that as well. But it's very limited because you need to kind of draw to get it right. So right now I'm using my Wacom tablet and I'm just dragging around here and there to get the pieces that I want. So this is the default lasso tool. Let's click on it again and we'll go with the Polygonal Lasso tool. Now when we select the Polygonal Lasso tool right here, the difference is that I'll be putting points where I'd like to create my selection. So what I'm going to do now, press the letter L, and let's say that I'd like to grab that little piece in the center. So what I'm going to be able to do is just to drag and put certain points to be able to basically see my selection. I'll hold shift, I can reuse it. We'll grab the missing part here, and with alt I can go and get rid of this one. Now the Polygonal Lasso tool can be very handy as well. So if I go back here and I try to select my letters, it can be pretty useful one, but there is more powerful than that for now. There you go. Now I have selection of my S, but then of course by holding shift I'll need to go grab some extra pieces and complete my selection. You have the feathers here, which is similar to what we talked about earlier. It will create, in the previous video, sorry, it will create kind of a gradient if I delete. So let's say I have my selection here and I hit delete. Now I have a perfectly straight edge. Look at this. Let's hit Control Z and put some feather there. So out of my selection I will put a 25 of feather, and let's hit delete. I'm sorry, I have to redo my selection now. So let's do this. I'll just go grab that piece here with 125 pixels feather, and now when I hit delete, you see that we've created that gradient through our selection. Let's hit Control Z and go back to our image, and we'll go now with the third one. That is a pretty interesting one. This is, I'm sorry, let me just clean every selection. We are getting right now to work with the Magnetic Lasso tool, and what the Magnetic Lasso tool is going to do is that it will snap over an edge, for example, according to the color that you're selecting. So let's say that I'd like to get myself only this part of my shoe. So I'll have my magnetic tool here. I'll go with a width of 55% and a contrast of 100%. The contrast will be the recognition of the contrast between this color and this one. And the frequency is the distance between the points that I'm going to create. So I will decrease my frequency to 50, and now when I'm going to go here, I'm sorry, now let's say I will click here. You see that my selection is snapping perfectly over the edge. There you go. Like this. Hit the point and go the other way. Now look how quickly and easy actually completing my selection. Which means that if I hit delete now, I removed it in a few seconds. It can be very interesting as well for areas such as here. Let's see that difference. If I would like to just select the banner, but I would like to keep that fuzziness over the asphalt, and I go with my Magnetic Lasso tool, look how beautiful it is. So it will go and select whatever. I have a contrast of 100%, so it will keep either one color or the other. And what makes it really interesting as well is the speed at which you can get yourself already a garbage selection, and then after that it's okay. All you have to do is to come back, hold shift, and add the missing parts to your selection. Sorry, let's go like this, and let's hold shift. So I'm going to go towards the right here and come back here. Let me close it. Alright, we're just missing a little tiny piece here. Let's get rid of this, hold shift. Alright, let's get this one. Alright, this one's hard to get, so I'm again going to get another one of my tools, and I go with this default Lasso Tool. Let's do the same thing here. As I said, this one is useful for areas that are pretty easy to select, and I will probably complete my selection again with my magnetic tool because I wanted to get that piece here. Alright, let's close it. Let's do that again. Let's go get that tiny piece that is far away there, and we can come over and get it with our tool here. So let's take a look at my edge. I think that I have everything that I want except that little corner here, so let's go back to my lasso tool. It's the magnetic lasso that is still selected, and we'll come over and paint slowly around that area. So I've got myself a pretty neat and clean selection. Let's finish that last part here on the complete opposite side of my canvas. Like this, and then we'll come over to the bottom. Try to get it right. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to decrease my contrast. I'll decrease it to 55%, and it will be easier for me to basically get everything else that I want inside that selection. Use all of your selection tools together. That's why the lasso tool is all under the same hat, because you'll have to work with the various tools to get it right. Now I'm going to go back to my polygonal, my magnetic lasso, and let's say I would like to remove this because I would like it to be kind of spotless. So let's go with shift. I'm going to add that little corner first that I was missing, and now with alt by holding alt I will come over and get this one out. Let's hold alt and I have another one selected. Let's go get myself a new piece here, and the more you click, the more points you will create. Let's press alt. Let me just quickly draw around that. There you go. Let's close it here. I'm missing that little piece. And here we are. Now if I come over here and let's say I'd like to remove my text as well, I'll go with my lasso. I will hold alt and I will quickly paint over that edge here. And you see it's snapping over the edge. And I already have my S. Let's go select my T here. Like this, we'll probably add this piece to my selection. Alright. And let's keep on going. So now what I'd like to do is I will re-increase my contrast to 100% because I only want this piece to be selected even faster than previously because I know that I have a massive amount of contrast between my background and my text right now. Now hold shift because I'd like to add this piece. Alright, let's continue. And we'll always go by adding and removing, so I'll hold shift. Let's select my R. Let's go quick and beautiful. Let's redo it. Oops, I'm adding here. I would like to remove that. Alright, now I'd like to keep the interior here. And keep this one as well that I lost while pressing Control Z previously. And finally, let's press Alt and get my T. Quickly select it. Let's get that little edge here. Like this. And let's get rid of this one from my selection. But for this one, I will go with my standard lasso because I'd like to hold shift and just draw around it and keep that here. So now if I press delete, I kept only my asphalt and removed the color within a few seconds, having a pretty clean selection here with a minimum effort using the lasso tool. Now working with the lasso tool, it's a combination of the three lassos. Even selection in general will be a combination of various selection tools according to what you'd like to do. But for today, thank you for following, and I wish you've learned how to use the lasso tool. See you in the next video.